Microsoft Azure offer more than 200 cloud services covering almost every business and technical requirement. To make these services easier to understand and manage, they are grouped into different categories based on their purpose. So let's begin with the first service, that is compute. So compute service provides the processing power required to run application and workload. So Azure virtual machines and Azure app services fall into these categories and allow organization to host application on the cloud. We will see all these services practically in the upcoming lectures. So next is storage. Azure solutions for storing different things like files, images, right? Videos, then backup, logs, and application data secure. Organization can choose the appropriate storage service based on their business requirement. So next service is networking. Azure offers services that help connect securely and enable communication between the applications. This includes services for creating the virtual machines, managing traffic, and securely connecting on-premises environment to the Azure. It helps connect on-premises environment to the Azure. Another important category is identity. This one, fourth. Identity service help the organization manage the users' authentication and access control. Using Microsoft Entra ID, administrator can control who can access Azure resources and what actions they are allowed to perform. Using Microsoft Entra ID, administrator can control what actions they perform. Next is monitoring. Fifth one is monitoring. Azure also provides monitoring services that allow administrator to track the health, performance, and availability of their resources. Monitor the availability of resources. These services help identify easily and major category is security. Azure include built-in security services that help protect application data, cloud resources from the potential threats while supporting compliance, which is the most important thing. It supports the compliance with industry standards. These are the services, these are the major services which are provided by Microsoft Azure. As we progress through this course, we will explore many of these services in detail with the practical demonstration. We will see each and every service practically. Now that we have an overview of Microsoft Azure services, let's understand how Azure resources are organized by exploring the Azure architecture. Now that which is offered by Microsoft Azure, let's understand how these services are organized within a Azure environment. This structure is known as Azure architecture, and understanding it is essential before you start creating resources in Azure. At the first of the hierarchy, we have tenant. A tenant represents organization dedicated instance in Microsoft Entra ID. It acts as the ideal users group. Organization of one subscription. A subscription is primarily used to organize resources. It used to organize resource and manage billing. It helps organization separate the different environment, departments and projects while also tracking the associated cost. For example, a company may have separate subscription. A company may have separate subscription for development. They have different subscription. For testing, they have different subscription. And for production, they have different subscription. Inside every subscription, nextly, inside every subscription, we have the resource group. So we can create the resource group. A resource group is a simply logical container that holds related Azure resources. It holds the Azure resources. Instead of managing every resources individually, administrator can organize those resources that belongs to the same project or application inside a single resource group, making them much easier to manage. Then finally we have fourth, inside a resource group, we create a actually resource. These resources can include a VMs, that is virtual machine, storage account, virtual networks, database, load balancer, load balancers, and many other Azure services. These are the components that actually provides the cloud functionality used by an organization. So if we look at the hierarchy from top to bottom, it follows a simple structure. A tenant contains one or more subscription. Each subscription contains one or more resource group, and each resource group contains actually a Azure resource. Understanding this hierarchy is very important because almost every resource you will create in Azure will follow this structure. So now that we have understood Azure resources, how it is managed and organized, let's take a closer look at two of the most important components in this hierarchy, that is subscription and resource group. Let us understand what is resource group and what is subscription. In the previous slide, we understood overall Azure architecture. Now, let's take a closer look to two of the most important components that every Azure administrator works with, that is subscription and resource group. So, firstly, let's start with the subscription. And Azure subscription is it is a logical unit that allows organization to create and manage Azure resources. So it is a logical unit that allows organization to create and manage Azure resources. One of its primarily purpose is billing and cost management. Every resource you create in Azure is associated with this subscription, making it easy to track usage and understand how much is being spent. It is used to track how much it's been spent. Subscription, it also helps you access control. Administrator can decide who is allowed to access. Admin can decide who is allowed to access and manage the resource. Admin will decide who can manage and access the resources within a particular subscription by assigning appropriate role and permission. Resource organization. Large organization often creates separate subscription for separate department. Like separate subscription for separate department. Project or environment such as development, testing and different subscription cost separate. Now let's talk about resource group. Let us understand what resource group is. Resource group is logical container that holds related Azure resources. Instead of managing every resource individually, instead of managing each and everything individually, administrator can group resources that belongs to the same application or project in the single resource group. For example, if you are deploying a web application, let's take an example. If you are deploying a web application, you might have virtual machine or storage account or virtual network. You might have virtual machine, storage account or virtual network. Since all of these resources belong to the same application, all these resources belongs to the same application, you can place them inside a one resource group. You can place this inside a same resource group, making them easier to manage. Resource group has also simplifies administration. If you need to monitor, update, or even remove all the resources related to a project, you can manage them together through the resource group, installing on this section and resource group almost every day. So understanding these concepts is essential before you create any resources. Now then we understood subscription and resource group, let's explore Microsoft Global Cloud Infrastructure and see how Azure delivers different regions across the world. Now that we understand how Azure resources are organized, let's look at the infrastructure that powers Microsoft Azure around the world. Microsoft Azure operates one of the largest it operates one of the largest cloud infrastructure. It operates one of the world's largest cloud infrastructure globally, with the data centers located across multiple countries. The data centers are located across multiple countries and regions. This global presence allows organizations to deploy their application closer to their user, improving performance and latency. So, this global presence of this data centers which are located allows organization to deploy their application closer to their users, improving performance and reducing latency. So let's first understand about the data center. So a data center is a physical facility, the physical facility that contains server, networking equipments, storage device, and other hardware required to deliver Azure services. Microsoft build and maintain this data center to ensure that cloud services, they have built those data centers to ensure that cloud services are available whenever organization needs them. Whenever organization needs them. So it is a physical facility that contains servers, networking equipments, storage device, and other hardware required to deliver Azure services. Next concept is regions. So what is region? Region is the geographical area. The geographical area that contains one or more data centers of whom? Of Azure. When you create an Azure resources, as we have seen theoretically, in next lecture we'll see it practically. So you will be asked to choose a region where that resources will be deployed. For example, if most of the user are in India, if most of the user are in India, you might Central India or South India region, which are closer to us. South India region to provide better performance. So this is what region is. Next, another important thing is availability zones. These are physical separate locations. These are physical separate locations within a same Azure region. It is a physically separate location within a same Azure region. So each availability zone has its own power, cooling, and networking infrastructure. If there is one zone, experience an issue, application deployed across multiple zones are continuously running. If this zone might fail, but there will be another zone that will be continuously running. So what it does, it helping us improve the availability. So this is what availability zone is. Next is region pair. So Microsoft pairs certain Azure region together to support disaster recovery and business continuity planning. If a major outage affect on the region, the payer region can help organization recover their application. It helps recover their application and services more efficiently. So, what is region pair? It is Microsoft pairs certain Azure region, multiple different Azure region together to support disaster recovery and business continuity. If there is a major outage affects the one region, if there is an issue in one region, so the paired region can help organization recover their application and services more efficiently. Azure Global Infrastructure, this Azure Global Infrastructure is one of the key reason organization trust this platform. It enables business to deploy application closer to their user while improving reliability, availability and disaster recovery capabilities. So I hope you have understood Azure Global Infrastructure. Now that we have explored Azure Global Infrastructure, let's look at the different tools available for managing Azure resources. So, Microsoft Azure provides multiple management tools allowing administrator to perform the same task in different way. So, first and most commonly used tool is Azure Portal. It is a web-based graphical interface. It is what it is. It is a web-based graphical interface which allows administrator to create, configure, monitor and manage the resources using the browser. Since it is very easy to use and doesn't require any command line knowledge, or it works on web and it does not require the command line knowledge, so it is preferred choice for beginner and day-to-day administrative tasks. Next we'll understand Azure CLI, that is command line interface, which is this is Azure, note down here, command line interface, which is used to manage Azure resources by executing commands. It is widely used for automation, scripting, and performing repetitive tasks efficiently. So instead of clicking through a portal, here we have used web. Instead of clicking anything on the portal, administrators can completely manage the operations just with the few commands. So another management option is Azure PowerShell. So PowerShell command specifically designed for Azure administrator. Organizations that already use PowerShell in their Windows environment often prefer this tool because it integrates well with the existing administrative workflows. Next, we have Azure Cloud Shell, which is browser-based command line environment. It is browser-based CLI environment available directly from the Azure portal. It is a browser-based command line environment available directly from Azure portal. So it allows administrator to run Azure CLI or PowerShell commands without installing any software on their local machine. As long as you have access to this Azure portal, you can start managing your Azure resources from anywhere. Then finally we have Azure Resource Manager, commonly known as ARM. Azure Resource Manager is the deployment and management service for Azure. It is what it is. It is a deployment and management service for Azure. It helps administrator to organize resources, manage deployment, and apply. Each of these tools serves a different purpose, and throughout this course, we will gain a hands-on experience with the Azure portal, Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, Azure Cloud Shell, and Azure Resource Manager. Approach for different administrative management tools. So, before let's administrator course begin with Azure fundamentals, where you will build a strong foundation by understanding cloud computing, Azure architecture, subscription, resource group, and the core concept of Microsoft. Once your fundamentals are clear, we will move to virtual machines, where you will learn how to deploy, configure, and manage Windows and Linux virtual machine in the Azure. So next topic will be networking. Here we will understand virtual networks, subnet, IP addressing, network security group, and how Azure resources communicate securely with one another. So once we'll understand the networking, then we'll move to the storage, where we will learn about how Azure storage accounts, blob storage, file storage, and different storage solution available in the Azure. The next module focuses on Microsoft Entra ID. That is where we will learn how Azure manages identities, users, groups, and authentication. Building on that, we will cover role-based access control to understand how permissions, RBAC's role-based access control, how permissions are assigned and how administrator control access to the Azure resources. Then we will move ahead to the load balancer, where you will learn how Azure distributes incoming traffic across multiple resources to improve application availability and performance. Then next we will explore the monitoring, where we will use Monitor, Monitor, activity logs, and alerts to track the health and performance of the cloud resources. After that, we will cover backup, where we will learn how to protect our workloads and recover important data whenever required. So, we will also study site recovery, which helps organization maintain business continuity and recover application during unexpected failures and disaster. The next topic will be automation, where you will discover how repetitive administrative tasks can be automated. So, making Azure management more efficient and consistent. Finally, we will bring everything together through real projects. We bring everything what we will learn in this course with the real project, where you will apply everything you have learned by working on the practical real world Azure scenario similar to those used in enterprise environment. By following this roadmap step by step, develop both the theoretical knowledge and the practical skills required to confidently work on Azure Cloud Administrator. So that brings us to the end of Azure Cloud Administrator first demo lecture. I hope this session gave you clear understanding of what this course is all about and the exciting learning journey that lies ahead. In today's demo lecture, we covered fundamental of Microsoft Azure, explored its architecture, services, management tool, and much more. This was just a brief introduction to help you get familiar with the Azure platform. In the complete course, we will take as much as practical we can. Every concept will be explained step by step and demonstrated through hands-on labs, real-world scenarios. From creating virtual machine and configuring network, managing storage, identities, monitoring, backup, automation, and DL project, we will implement everything practically together. So, if you are ready to build your cloud administrator skill, I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming lectures where your practical learning journey truly begins. Thank you for taking the time to watch this demo lecture. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. Thank you once again, and I'll see you in the next lecture. Happy learning.